So this is the BMR watch link. As you can tell, I got the poly-ended one. BMR's instructions kind of go about a route I probably wouldn't choose. This seems like it would be the easiest method for me. You can do whatever you want, but since it's a new product, I'm kind of going to do it how I think will be easiest. How BMR actually has you putting this in is, this is the BMR watch link brace. You'd put this in, this would be driver's side, this would be passenger side, this is looking towards the back of the car. They have you put this in after you take out the panhard bar and support, obviously. They actually have you put this in, and then they want you to install the pivot point with the bracket at whatever point you choose, with these arms already installed on the pivot point while it's already on the car, which means the differential is going to be right here. You're going to run into a little bit of a clearance issue. They even mention if you want to install in some of these upper points that you need to possibly take the springs out of the car in order to lower the axle more, or finagle yourself in there somehow. So this seems like the easiest method for me, which would be to install the pivot point with the linkages on the pivot point and bracket already on the watch link brace, and then install the watch link brace inside the car all as one piece. So my first step is actually going to be to grease these grease fittings. I got some AMSOIL synthetic chassis lube. Seems like it would be easier to grease now than when it's on the car and put together. Got a pneumatic grease gun here. That looks pretty good. And then you repeat this step for the linkages. Now that we grease these, we can slide our linkages in. Since this pivot's going to be going up against the faceplate of this watch link brace, probably want the most clearance towards the faceplate, which would imply you sliding these through here so that you got clearance there. Washer, lock nut. Now I'm not sure if there were torque specs on this or not. If there were, I'll probably add them to the video right here, but for now you can do it hand tight. Now I actually already drenched these in AMSOIL HD metal protectant. That's what BMR suggests. Since it's Teflon lined, you're not going to want to use grease and stuff like that. Also, grease is going to attract dirt and grime. This stuff kind of puts like a wax layer on the outside, doesn't become tacky, but also kind of lubricates and protects this bearing joint right here. Now if your watch is anything like mine, these are actually going to take some love to get through. As you can see, they take a little bit of, well, actually a lot of force to plop through the other side. I actually can't imagine doing this process right here with a differential maybe 3, 4, 5 inches away from the face of this rotor. So, like I said, at least this point, I could be eating my words, I would recommend putting this aspect together first before you throw this in. Yes, you may need an extra hand to put this in, but this actually isn't a heavy piece. This brace itself is really lightweight feeling, even though it's very strong and welded together well. And this whole entire apparatus, including these mounting brackets and the pieces that you're going to end up clamping to the axle, is around 22 and a half pounds. So now these 3/8 bolts, since you had to pound them through, there's obviously some tension on them. I was actually using my mini ratchet at first, but it wasn't actually enough leverage, so this is going to take some some effort. Now that it's installed, you might want to just put another dab of grease in there now that it's up against this contact surface. You can see it bulge right there. Now you have something that can go in the car, all this linkage already hooked up. Don't forget to throw an adjustable wrench on these bolt heads and hit it with the torque wrench once it's on the car. Like I said, 35, 88, or 89, something like that. This actually not heavy at all. The side facing the camera faces the front of the car. Driver's side, passenger side. Bolt it right in. Throw the axle brackets on. Put an angle finder on this, put an angle finder on that, match it up. Shouldn't be too hard.